The sheep shagging purgatory.
Damned if I do, damned if I don't.
It's the Schrödinger sheep.
I'm not sure I want to venture down this road, actually.
Is the sheep alive or is the
I
sheep
hope
dead?
it's alive. Don't make it even worse.
It's a quantum sheep. It is both alive and dead at the same time.
At least inside.
And now you are dead inside too.
Oh.
Welcome to the Half-Pint.
Oh, yeah. Phil, this was before your time, but I think we've decided that death is not a good subject for us because we get really morbid really fast. But I mean, it was mostly Glenn who was against it, so maybe now it's going to go full force into the ground.
Oh no, we should embrace it thoroughly.
But speaking of dead inside, I just bought 3 cutting boards today. What is redeemable, I think, is I'm going to use them for projects. But I just stumbled over our local, what do you call it, grocery store. They also have like a section where they sell kitchen appliances and whatnot, and they got some beech cutting boards at the thickness of 8mm. So it's proper thin. It's not a lot of like they're glued together, so it's a lot of decent material there at a relatively okay price. So I find that I can buy them. I mean, even though they are a bit expensive to just cut them up. I mean, I've saved a lot of money on not getting a drum sander, and if I can get them pre-drum sand, that's a win-win. So now I have all my Christmas gifts for the family ready. I just need to run the CNC for a day or two. And then I bought some custom-sized cardboard boxes out of AliExpress. So it's going to be like proper packaged and everything. That's at least the plan, and we'll see how it goes.
Exactly. They say chopping board, you say project board. I know. I've got to get some. We've got some old plastic chopping boards, which they are returning. I think they're returning to oil slowly.
That nice stage.
Yeah,
that nice stage was like you really got to change these things because, and there's lots of chat about microplastics in your blood and in your brain already. So change the chopping board now, but yeah. And I wanted to get some wooden ones. I wanted to make some wooden ones.
Yeah.
But then you go into the supermarket and you see actually quite nice wooden chopping boards for a fraction of the cost of what you can actually buy the wood for before you've put all the hours into, shaping and flattening and sanding and oiling. It's like, I don't think I'm going to bother, I think I'm just going to buy them.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. I mean, you could trick yourself, but then I get it just the way I want it. But what I've learned is that you get cutting boards in a lot of sizes and shapes, but it needs to fit in the drawer where we put them. And as cutting boards go, I mean, square is the best shape, at least for me. So it's like there is a lot of room to make different shapes, but then they're not going to get used. So then you're back at the problem, and like you can just as well buy them.
Yeah, you want a square of the right size. I have a hard time using a wooden chopping board for meat. It doesn't feel, because you see the juices getting into the wood, and it feels off.
You know, I saw a study here. They say that wood is actually better for meat than the plastic ones.
Yeah, it has like antiseptic properties, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
but you can't put it in a dishwasher at 70 degrees. Which I do with all the plastic ones.
I mean, you
just have to do it the
can.
old-fashioned way.
Yes, but then they're one-time use.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have the luxury of a dishwasher, so, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
You have to wash it up at the sink.
I mean, that is no issue then.
No.
But I mean, I do prefer the wooden ones for all the other stuff. But I mean, then if you don't clean thoroughly, then you have to. I mean, like my mom has all wooden cutting boards, and she's like got a stack of them. This one is for onions. This one is for fish. This one is for guy. You have to like a cartotek of different ones, and do not pick the wrong one because then you'll be damned forever.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. That I mean, I don't mix. I mean, if I'm cutting chicken, then I don't cut anything else with that knife or that cutting board for that. Can you call it a seance when making food?
That depends on how you do it.
Yeah.
You invite dead relatives to that?
But we are very much into the phase as well that we're swapping plastic for wood. Has done that for utensils for quite a while, wood or metal. Yeah. And I'm very happy now that I got the wife on board with. I mean, she would argue I didn't get her on board, that she discovered it and I tagged along. But I like black cast iron or thick stainless steel pans that needs seasoning and whatnot. It doesn't need to be shiny and have these fancy non-stick, whatever cancer substance on them. So we have now come to that part that we don't have any one of those either. So we just have cast iron pans and whatnot. And then, yeah, it's brilliant. And you can have steel utensils and you can really put your back into scraping things off. I mean, you can't really break it. And I mean, even if you should shave something off, I mean, you just need iron in your diet anyway, if you talk to anyone into nutrition and whatnot. So yeah, it's a win-win.
Yeah, we're looking into doing that transition as well. But we're not. The plan is not to get new Teflon pans or whatever it's called, but finding one that you actually like. I mean, it's not easy because I mean either frying pans are stupid cheap and I mean you get what you pay for. Or they're so overpriced, like a Porsche one for like 500 quids or something like that. And it's just...
Yeah, I realized that you need to pay for the decent one. So, of course, not the ridiculous. I don't pay for a fancy chef's brand, but you need to pay at least the weight in iron. But What's the YouTube channel called? That guy who does the tool restorations. There's probably several of them. But I saw him take like an old grimy steel pan and bring that back to life. And that process was, you had to put some elbow grease in, but it was relatively easy. And now I see that that's the one thing you can see at car boot sales. It's a lot of pots and pans. And there you can actually find a good cast iron something. And then if you know how to fix it, and as long as it's not cracked, you're good to go.
Yeah, I think people sort of jump on that. Oh, I'm going to get a cast iron pan. And then they realize that what you mean? I actually have to put work into maintaining it. Oh, yeah. I can't be bothered with this. And then it ends up at a car boot sale. We were very lucky that when my parents were aging, they decided that they couldn't deal with all their Le Creuset, which they'd had for about 40 years.
Oh no!
And because it was just getting too heavy. So they invested in some nice new steel pans. And would you like our old Le Creuset? Yes, please. Yes. Yes, no, I'll look after that for you.
No, I'll take it off your hands.
Well, I suppose it's testament because we've had it for nearly 20 years now. So, you buy a cast iron pot, 50 years later, it's still being used. That's fine. Yeah, these things aren't cheap, but how many crappy aluminium pots have disappeared in that same time frame?
Weren't as nice. I'm looking at stainless steel pan now, and it said that it doesn't have non-stick, whatever on it. And if you use oil or butter when you cook food, the frying pan will give even better results. Yeah, what are you frying without using either butter or oil? What kind of
savages are these?
Well, I mean, I can understand people getting it and they're burning everything, and that gets tedious. And I had an epiphany, and I did have it late in life, as a lot of things, that you should heat it to a certain level first, and you do the water test. If you put a couple of water droplets in, and if they doesn't sizzle, but it just ends up as small bubbles on the top, then you got it at a decent heat. Then you can start throwing things in there. And because of the heat, it will make a vapor layer or whatnot between the food and the steel, so it doesn't instantly burn and fuse to the metal. And once you get the hang of that, it actually, it doesn't stick as much. I mean, some of it still will do, but then it's relatively easy to scrub it off. So,
and use a lot of butter.
Yeah.
I mean, is that what professional chefs do? They put like a complete stick of butter in the mashed potatoes and that sort of thing just to make it.
That's why food at restaurants tastes so good, because watch cooking shows with professional chefs. Don't mind all the fancy stuff they do, but just keep a track on how much butter they use in everything and in the pan. And they can easily use a couple of sticks of butter for a full course meal without batting an eye.
So all this butter in here and loads of salt.
All the good things.
Yeah. And throw all the things your doctor tells you should really consider cutting out these things. But I don't want to. You're going to have to.
I just don't want to be alive. I want to live. That's living that requires butter.
Yep, butter and bacon grease and all those good things. I'm getting hungry now.
I'm not gonna claim that I coined that phrase, but the first time I heard it, I'm picking that up because at some times I have been known to move my carcass against my will, but for health benefits. And it's not because I want to get good at anything or get ready for bathing or swimsuit season or whatever, but I would just like to eat everything that I like and still be able to move around. And I mean, that's the best reason for doing any activity, I guess. I mean, I couldn't be bothered about, I don't care how I look if I'm going bathing. I mean, then buoyancy is a thing, and the more the merrier. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Bob of I Like to Make Stuff said that sometime that he wanted a cookie in the evening, but if he wanted a cookie, he needs to have run that day. So I know I want to cook later, so I need to run now. That's good motivation.
Well, it's a good ethos. If you can stick to it, I'm sure it does you untold good.
Yeah.
But I'm more likely to skip the cookie instead, so I don't have to run. So.
Yeah, and I'm also very good at moving problems over to future Haavard. So yeah, but I can have the cookie today, and then tomorrow Haavard can just run a little bit longer, and then tomorrow Howard's coming like, fuck that asshole yesterday. Haavard is like a prick. I'm not going to do what he says. So
I've got to run for about 14 hours now, straight. Because I had the whole packet of biscuits. I didn't have one biscuit or two biscuits. No, I had the whole packet of biscuits.
And on Friday, Haavard, I mean, he's going to enjoy the weekend, so fuck all that. So he's not interested. He's not on board with any of it. So yeah.
Monday problem now. And the whole vicious cycle starts again.
Speaking of vicious cycle, I've tried a different cycle the last couple of days. Of course, we went to the cabin, and I don't have a workshop there. So when I put one of the kids to bed, I just fell asleep myself, and then I woke up in the wee early hours of the morning, and I just realized I'll just sleep a bit more, and then I get up. So I was up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and got to work a bit, and then see the sunrise. And no, it's kind of nice, and it was quiet because everybody was still sleeping. And then I did the same the following night, and we swapped around. So then I put the smallest one to bed, and I don't have to do anything. So I'm just going to plan on falling to sleep here, and then I'm going to just get up when I wake up, no alarm clock or ever. And then I woke up at like 6 in the morning, like very awake. So question is, should I try this now for a couple of weeks? But of course, that would be hard on next Tuesday when I'm going to do like an evening recording when I'm like 6 hours overdue for passing out. And then the other thing was I might become so out of sync that by the time Friday comes around, like, was my wife even at home this week? Because I can't remember seeing her. So I'm kind of thinking that experiment wouldn't go unnoticed or be approved by the second half of the household administration. So
it's good to have the same time schedule as the rest of the family, give and take. I mean, I don't really mind some alone time in the morning. It's really nice if you get a head start on the day and get a lot of shit done.
Wow.
But you really should be awake when the rest of the family is as well.
No, I like to get up about sort of 5:30, 6 o'clock every day, and then you just get so programmed into it. I can't lie in. Yeah. On a Sunday, now I'm up about 5:30. And when I'm going to work, I like to make myself a coffee and just have like an hour of silence before having to go and deal with people and their problems and traffic. Just that beautiful hour of just nothing. Yeah, I don't put the telly on or the radio. My other half thinks I'm very strange. How can you just sit in silence? It's really easy.
I get it now. I remember my grandparents, they had a television, but it was only on for the news, which in Norway was like half an hour at 7 in the evening, or when the grandkids were there. We always came in and they were sitting at either each end of the same table or a different table. My grandmother would be doing knitting or something, and my grandfather would just drinking coffee and watching out the window at the sea. And I'm like, what kind of life is this? They're just sitting here. And now I know. I mean, my grandparents, they had 5 kids. So I understand why. I mean, yeah, well, if they were home alone, they were just enjoying the silence. I totally get it now. But of course, when I was 7, I did not understand the concept.
What kind of life is this?
Yeah.
A bloody brilliant one, I think.
I mean,
I still can't do the silence. I feel I want my sounds, not anyone else's sounds. I mean, it's always been that's the some kind of I don't know a good English term for it, but I mean some kind of just depression. It feels like you can see it in movies and that sort of thing. Someone is sitting alone at a table with a cup of coffee, and the only thing you hear is the clock ticking on the wall, and it's just gray colors all around it. And I mean, that's just
well, that's only depressing because someone's made it to be depressing to you. But if you can find, comfort in silence, then it's not depressing.
Yeah, I think this is hardwired in me in some way, that it makes my skin crawl. But I want my sounds.
When you...
Yeah, I've been following a...
No, you've been following what?
I've been following this... I can't remember his name. I will find it for, the show notes. It's on YouTube, and it's this fella in Sweden who is renovating a cabin, and it must be it's the north, very remote bit of Sweden. And he just goes outside this cabin, and he just goes, "Can you hear that?" And it's just no sound. Yeah, and it's just snow in every direction and trees, and he goes, "That is the sound of not another human being for 100 kilometers in any direction. Just me and the wolves."
No.
Oh, that sounds perfect. I want a bit of that.
I was going to say, was he living alone, or did he have a wife as well? Okay.
He was living alone. Well, he was renovating alone. I think he had a wife.
Yeah, because I've seen on YouTube several couples and people buying cabins in Sweden in the woods. So there are probably several of them.
Lots of them.
Yeah.
The only one I've seen is Erik Grankvist, he built this cabin in the woods instead. I had some copycats of doing that. And they didn't really realize that you need to own the land as well if you want to build something in the woods.
No, I think this fellow was like it's in his family, but it was in a bit of disrepair, and he's taken it on and is modernising it, putting solar panels on, filling in all the gaps in the walls, that sort of stuff. Insulation,
those are nice
stuff.
Things to have. I grew up in a house where that was not really a major concern.
No.
So we didn't need ventilation if we said that, because there was so much wind coming through the walls.
But I do appreciate that when I go to my mother's cabin, because it's not like 100 miles away from civilization, but it is. I mean, you don't have to use the curtains in the bedroom. I mean, when it's night, it is dark. So you can wake up in the middle of the night and open your eyes and ask yourself, did I open my eyes now, or are they still closed? Because there is no difference. And when you go outside, you can really see the Milky Way. And in the city, you can see some stars and you think this is magnificent, but you really don't know what you're missing until you're going somewhere where it's pitch dark and no city around. So, that's brilliant. But when you spoke about you need your own sounds and that ticking grandfather clock, that reminds me, because I inherited that grandfather or grandmother clock from my grandmother. And we sent it to something watch repair person. And then, so it actually works. So before I put it in a box, I wound it up, and yes, it works. And it's been in our loft for years. Maybe I'm now where I should take it down. Maybe I'm not sure. The family might not like the ticking. Recording a podcast or movies, having like this tick-tacky device in the background, and every half hour, like dong.
Counting out the hours.
Dong, 1 hour closer to death. Dong.
yeah, kind of like that.
I remember my grandfather. His clock was always 5 minutes early. Or 3 minutes or something, because he really hated it when he turned on the news at 7 o'clock, and then the clock had to ring for 7 like consecutive ding dongs. So he just, let's just move the time back a bit, so it's finished doing its business before the news starts. So yeah, you can use his watch for anything. You had to add 4 minutes.
All right, so it wasn't like a highly regimented life living permanently on Navy time 5 minutes before. No, it's just that the damn clock interrupts the telly.
Yep.
Good enough reason for me.
It works. It works.
I mean, he was a sailor, so of course all the other watches were like, they need to be proper and not drift, because that's was your backup if you're doing navigating without. I don't know. I'm not sure if GPS was even a thing back then, but the clock in the living room, that was off by a few minutes. So when the news came, it was done.
I do feel like clocks nowadays are. I mean, there's clocks and like in the microwave and the oven and that sort of thing. Those are really crap at keeping time. Because I mean, I usually set them at least when we change for daylight savings and that sort of thing, and it doesn't take that long for them to start to drift in different directions. And then okay, this one is 5 minutes before, this one is 5 minutes after, and I feel like it wasn't that bad, like 10, 20 years ago. Or is it just me?
And the problem is a lot of the clocks that we have, they automatically adjust, except the one on the stove. That's the only one that we twice a year have to adjust for summertime or so.
I was going to say the stove and the microwave. I just never set them.
Yeah.
There's no point.
I think I have some kind of a compulsion for knowing what time it is, because I want a wall clock in like every room. I think we have one in every room, even the bathroom. Well, two of the bathrooms we don't have them, but more or less every other room has one wall clock, and some have multiple clocks. And I'm wearing a wristwatch as well, so I think I have some kind of letter combination for that. Perhaps always needs to know what time it is.
Our front room's got 3 clocks in it, so it doesn't matter where you're sitting; you can always see a clock.
Yeah, so you feel you're on time. Yeah. On the clock, so to speak.
Always on the clock.
Yeah. Well, that annoys me. That I think I made 4 or 5 different clocks once I got the CNC, and I bought the mechanics for them, and they work perfectly. But at some point they drift, and of course, it is probably very much to do with the price I paid for them. But I mean, with the amount of electronics there are in them, it should not be very hard to. If the voltage fall below this, just stop. And then, of course, if the clock stops, then okay, I have to change the battery. And then it's back on again. But when it just drifts, you kind of not notice, and then you just, fuck it. And then you just turn it back 10 minutes, and then it's on again. So you're just dragging it out and out. It should just, like, when it reaches a certain threshold, it should just cut.
No, I want every single last bit out of that AA battery. I'm going to get it.
One way or the other. Yeah. No, that's fun, though. A friend of my father, he made these grandfather clocks as a hobby, like intricate wood carvings and whatnot. And then, of course, for the pendulum, you get a separate pendulum motor to just swings the pendulum back and forth. And then you use like a battery-driven quartz watch in there to just make sure it keeps time well. And then, of course, someone pointed out, like, you're spending hundreds of hours making these intricate grandfather clocks, and then you're cheating by putting in some modern quartz-based mechanism. And he's like, no, I'm just keeping to tradition. Because when you bought a grandfather clock 60, 70 years ago, that cost an arm and a leg. And that was the top. They didn't buy it because it necessarily was nice, but it was also a very good clock to keep the time. So he was just keeping to the tradition. I'm building a nice clock and I'm using the best technology I have today. And they did that 70 years ago as well. Yeah, that actually makes sense.
But in a way, it was more fun back in the old days when we didn't have a standard time. It was everyone's, what time do you have? And had all like synchronizing watches before you do a heist and that sort of thing, because you actually needed to do that. And the town clock was the one to go by and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Now with all the pesky computers, everyone has to have the same time all the time.
These pesky computers and synchronized time and CCTV everywhere. Doing a heist is impossible.
Yeah. Oh, that would be nice, though. I mean,
to do a heist.
yeah, that too. But having the post coming twice a day and like once every fortnight, you have to pay a guy £2 to be able to have a look at his clock to adjust your own clock. It was a simpler time, and an easier time for doing a heist. It's like you just had to show up and give me your money. Oh, okay.
But you didn't have a central heating or YouTube or those sort of things you didn't have at all.
Nah, central heating's overrated.
Yeah, but we had, the Norwegians, we had central heating since at least 500-600 years BC. I mean, it was actually you had all your livestock in the same room as you were living to keep you hot in the winter time. Yeah.
Someone's a bragger.
Yeah.
Having livestock.
We kept the cows in the living room. We've had central heating for 500 years.
You just have one big fire in the one room you have. Yeah, that's kind of central heating as well, I guess.
Yeah, and then just opening along the edge to allow enough airflow in to keep that fire going. So you already had aircon as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's all about branding, I guess. Nice of you to fill the awkward silence with some coughing.
Sorry, excuse me. Like I say, I've definitely got some sort of lurking. Just in time for me to have 5 days off work.
That's good of you to be sick on your days off.
I know, it's brilliant, isn't it? I'm such a company man. Don't worry, I'll wait till I'm on holiday to be ill.
Yeah. Oh, so it's not a bank holiday thing. It's a proper holiday day.
Yes. It's a proper booked in holiday, just nice. Time off. Yeah, I've finished today and I'm not back in until Monday.
So you have fantastic plans? We're just gonna sit around twiddling your thumbs?
No, far from it. No, there will be a workshop day. Thursday I'm going off for a day into the forest for some foggy photography.
Nice.
Because fog is forecast. And I loves me a bit of wandering around the woods in the fog with my camera. And I've borrowed a drone from work as well. I've never flown a drone before, so hopefully I don't bin it off into a lake or something.
I mean, just make sure that you're not over a lake. I think you'll be fine. Smash it into a tree
or some trees,
full speed,
or something like that. I'll try a vast open space first.
In the fog. That's it. Yeah. Where did it go? I can hear it.
I'm hoping for some very low level fog so I can get above the fog.
Like the Feywild kind of photos. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think I think modern drones are a bit more idiot proof than the old.
I think the collision detection is really good on them, at least.
Yeah. And the panic button, and like if you just realize I've done something I don't know, then you have one button you press and it like instantly freezes where it is and hovers, and then if you have the nerves you can continue. If not, you can just press the button once more and it just traces back the way it came and just land where it took off.
Yeah, return to home is a good thing to have.
Just don't do the same thing as the one guy I saw. He was on a boat, so the drone took off and took notice of the position where it took off, and then he at some point panicked and like pressed home to base, and the drone flew back to that point and very beautifully drowned itself. So yeah.
In fairness, it did exactly what you told it to do.
So yeah.
Yeah, it functioned
Stay on
perfectly.
solid ground. That's good advice.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, that's good. And then we might have some foggy pictures on somewhere shareable at some point, maybe.
Yeah, undoubtedly. There will be fog.
Was that the closing words?
I think
There will
so.
be fog.
There will be fog.
There will be fog.
So, yeah, on that word, fog off.
Brilliant.
Beautiful. Good night.
Good night and fog off yourself.